lagi. PRX GenG.
So GenG has become the first specific team that won Masters
Bodoh.
title, and there will be like some regrets because like we lost through grand finals in the past, which is like Copenhagen and Los Angeles. I'm actually feel like kind of happy for them because finally they can show that actually Pacific can win a international tournament.
PRX도 강팀이고 저희도 강팀이고 좀 색깔을 더 가지고 있기 때문에 저희가 계속 결승에서 만나는 것 같거든요. 저희가 이번에 챔스에 진출하게 됐으니까 퍼시픽 팀끼리 같이 결승에 갔으면 좋겠습니다. 우승팀이라는 사실 그게 좀 압박감이 좀 있잖아요. 왜냐면 계속 잘해야 된다. 사실 실수도 조금 더 나오는 것 같고 저희가 이러한 부분들을 잘 이겨내면 스테이지 2 프로도 잘 마무리할 수 있을 거라고 생각합니다.
It feels nice because we didn't lose a single match in the group stage. I would say there is no secret. We just learning from the mistakes and experience back in Shanghai Masters.
어럴 큐전은 이제 저희가 준비를 최대한 해왔고 별 다른 변수 없이 잘 이긴 것 같습니다. PRX는 일단 수비건 공격이건 자기들만의 방식대로 게임을 하기 때문에 종잡을 수는 없어요. 총 잘 쏘고 난다 긴다 하는 애들 다 모인 거기 때문에 컨택 싸움을 저희가 이겨내야 이길 것 같다고 생각합니다.
I would say they can mix the playstyle of being aggressive and being disciplined at the same time. I would say they have the perfect balance. But as long as we play our game, I would say because we knew that we're actually a good team and we can beat anybody in Pacific.
근데 사실 5대5 게임이라는 게 실수를 덜 하는 쪽이 이기는 게임이거든요. 저는 쫄지 않고 이번엔 PRX를 이겨서 스코어 3대3으로 동점을 만들어내겠습니다.
Just because we qualified to champions doesn't mean we're gonna go easy on you guys.
PRX.
A matchup that could very well be our grand finals in a few days or even further down the line. A matchup worthy of a grand finals for GenG. The playoff stage and the final stage are nothing new to them, as with PRX as well, one of our longest standing rosters and of course Pacific's most experienced team on the VCT stage. You heard the emotion from that video from Mindfreak as he recounted all their accolades earlier. Yes, they did go to Copenhagen, they did go to Los Angeles, but GenG was the first to bring that trophy home to Pacific. And you heard it from him as well, that subtext, it should have been them. It should have been PRX. And for GenG, again, they have been standing on this stage consistently the entire year. It's almost easy to forget that this roster isn't even a year old. And for Karen as well, our super rookie of Pacific.
They bring together so much chemistry. They have so much fun on the stage, but they are also such a deadly force. PRX has to watch out, and you can see and feel the intensity on the stage right now as everyone's walking out.
Man, I am just ecstatic to see how this is going to pan out. In a way, this is such different teams going up against each other. It's that kind of multi-IGL style that PRX has, pseudo-IGL style that PRX has, versus the leadership of Munchkin that has been steering GenG deeper and deeper. Probably one of the best IGLs that we've had throughout 2024. And again, the trophy also proves that. That being said, this is another way to look at this is that PRX molded so many times through years of just sheer camaraderie between the 5 of the players, and GenG just coming into this one right now. Again, so much stark contrast coming into this series. And sure, both teams are already into champions, but there still is that kind of satisfaction to get that W as PRX to prove to themselves that they still have what it takes, or they can put themselves to that next level to get back into champions and, you know, kick more butt.
We heard it from Karen. They got to win out their contact fights. Meanwhile, we heard that Mamba Mindfreak mentality from Mindfreak as well. You know, the job's not done yet. Yes, they qualified the champions, but they still have the full of playoffs to play through.
Yeah, I think that, with this PRX and GenG rivalry that we've been seeing, we saw it first in kickoff, right? And it's been going on and on, the titles and the trophies. Whenever these two are on stage, you can be rest assured that this is the very, very best that Pacific has to offer. We can be rest assured that every single round is going to be so, so exciting to watch, especially since these teams, again, are like half of the teams that we have for Champions Quack, and I think that, this is them in Champions form.
This is them in Champions form, and they're still going to keep going up and up. I mean, this is a map pool where both teams overlap quite a bit on, and we're seeing how that kind of plays out, right? They're going to have to face each other's demons, and we're starting things out over on Ascent. Has PRX retooled the composition enough to face off against a GenG that is this consistent?
We're going to see indeed as we step into Ascent of all of the maps to start with. So we'll toss it to Paperthin and Achilles. Gentlemen, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much. Yes, let's get ready to jump into this one. A new El Clasico in development. GenG and PRX clashing once again. And as Miko was mentioning, this very well could just be a preview of the Grand Finals once more.
No doubt about it. I mean, these two teams have really proven that they are the class of Pacific in 2024 at the very least. It's first and second the whole way through for them, and they're meeting a little bit earlier than maybe you'd like to see as a fan potentially, but absolutely this is going to be a tough battle. GenG didn't have the best regular season compared to PRX, so they've been struggling a little bit to get to this point, but it seems like the more time that goes on, the more matches they play, the more they ramp up, the better they get. And no doubt about it, PRX knows it. Now the real question for me, Achilles, what the heck is PRX doing? Yes.
They're doing exactly what I asked them to do many moons ago. Ascent has been a pain point for them here this year, and they let it go through. They suspect that GenG is going to be picking it, and now they go back to an older composition. Still some changes here, of course, but it's that Reina Harbor to really segment the map and have those Leers coming through those walls to be able to catch people off guard.
Yeah, exactly. So it's going to look a little bit different. Now you have the Sova in there as well instead of a KO. So a little bit deeper ability to send some util. You could combo it with the Leers, with the recon darts, with that kind of thing to really throw your opponents off balance. And as well as the Omen instead of the Viper from Mindfreak. This is, I'm again talking about what we saw from PRX in the finals last year of VCT Pacific versus DRX. So a little bit of a change up with still the kind of core there with the Reina, Raze, Harbor. Really curious to see how GenG's going to handle this. I mean, GenG, they played this comp the whole year. There's only one map, by the way, where GenG has changed their comp this entire year, and it's only been on Icebox. That's it.
I mean, they've gotten to all three international tournaments qualified, so they haven't needed to change too much. And Ascent not going to be any different, but let's go ahead and get into the action here. As we have GenG starting things off on this defending side, and of course for PRX on the attack, this is where we suspect that we're going to be seeing the most amount of impact here from this team.
Absolutely, and they're going to be starting on the attacker side all throughout today, on all three maps. So
fair point.
This is really where PRX needs to do some damage. They've been the best team in Pacific on their attacker side, back to kind of the normal PRX that we're sort of used to seeing, but GenG as well, no slouches on their attacker side. They're up in the top 3 of VCT Pacific this year as well, so both teams can really do a ton of damage on this side of the map, and that's why they've been so successful across the board. See Texture going for an aggressive push with the Sheriff.
That was being watched a little bit there, but still managing to find the shot. Covering fire as well as plenty of players out here in mid, and Texture's able to find a second. Going to be taken down, but Jing comes up with 2 of his own. Count and Munchkin's going to be gone, but Texture finds a third, and Meteor gets the closer. And that's going to be the pistol going the way of GenG.
Yeah, as kind of is tradition this year, GenG very, very good on pistols. Can't remember the exact winning percentage. It's like 60-something, but they are well ahead of a lot of other teams in Pacific this year on their pistol round wins. And it's moments like that where they're baiting that contact out of GenG. It was Karan who was talking about it during the pre-match interview they had recorded, where he said they have to win these contact fights, and Texture does. And that just forces all of PRX to try to respond, and it's just into the...
Cut the tape! Well, now he's judging hand here for Karan. He's going to be able to find 2 quick kills. This Forsaken and Jing both can take it down. Shock, they're trying to flush him out. He's jumping around like a maniac, but Munchkin holding here behind. Looks for the 3, and he will have him. A very quick, fast round. GenG only losing out on 1 player. Start things off 2-0.
Yeah, this is very aggressive play from GenG, and that was another thing they talked about in the interview. GenG can throw a lot of different looks at you. They're very stable in their kind of defaults in their protocols with those, and they'll get aggressive at you too. Munchkin, very happy. Try to find weakness. An early operator again for GenG, just like we saw yesterday against RQ. Different map, but similar situation. We're round 3 after winning the first 2. They want to get this operator right into the hands of their superstar duelist. Maybe a little bit of damage done to that shock dart. Yeah, Jing taking a bit of a chunk.
Decent chunk, yeah. Down to 85, 19 on the armor. Karan just going to be shifting across the map. A lone player positioned over at B. Something anticipating or wary about a potential push out, but we know that Karan not going to be going anywhere.
Yeah, and it's going to have to be
Cepet banget. Juaran langsung habis.
potentially some of that
Baru juga
short-sighting
mulai.
util, the Lears and the Paranoias. If you are going to be able to clear this, something though,
Karan
walking into a trap.
Something.
Reaggressing back into his position.
Yeah.
Something, he had the jump, but just couldn't quite find the kill. Karan managing to stay alive, takes him down. That is a big part of the entry power now gone out of the hands here, PRX.
And that 0 point definitely caught at least Device, so this is allowing GenG to play for contact. This Owl Drone definitely giving it away as well.
Spot on the shoulder there as Fragment does fly. No further damage going to be found, but quick clear. Recon not allowed to pulse out. Know that Meteor's in this position, but they only have these shock darts in front of 5 minutes. Lakia ending up getting taken down. Meteor able to find one though as Forsaken on that entry. Cove about to be broken. Devi swinging around the side. Munchkin snapped with a headshot. Shuts down Jing. Now it's just Mind Freak and Devi left standing versus 3. Are able to flush him out. Off now arrives. He finds the first, looks for the quick scope. Can't make it connect, but time is dwindling in Devi. This is backpedaling. Didn't even have the spike in hand, and now knows that this round is going to be over. Just wants to hold on to that Phantom. GenG are going to be converting the bonus.
Yeah, they just do a great job of reading the map and giving PRX some serious grief. That judge, a lot of value being found for Karan, not being checked by PRX. Cost them one of their very important pieces to making some of their entries on this map with this composition. That's nicely done there. I like the Cove here. Try to scale into sight a bit. Gives them the chance, the opportunity, but Texture finds a great timing with the op. Almost gets that second one. And then from there, like you said, no spike available for Devi, so has to just go for the save. He's got a rifle. We're going to get one for Jing as well, but otherwise it's going to be Sheriffs for the side of PRX now. Both these teams, as you might expect, very, very good at ecos throughout this year.
Quite true. Something moving forward here, taking some space up towards Pizza. Alarm bot still set up. Will be taken down now as Lakia pivots over. Drone at the ready. Meteor ready to strike in case they manage to get any kind of information here off this drone. Doesn't spot him though. 2 just tucked in behind the archway.
Standing ahead.
On the jump peak though, will be able to spot him out, and Lakia taking too much damage, has to back away.
Bisa gerak gini Erik. Nggak tahu deh. Tapi emang pasarnya kan jelek ya.
Gets those kills, and Munchkin able to spray down 2. Jing and Devi falling to the wayside.
Apalagi,
Mind Freak,
wih.
it does mention.
Mind Freak.
Barely find the shot there, but something painting a picture around Lakia does not
Apalagi
find
ini
the shot.
lawannya GenG.
Only would have needed one to be able to take down that Sova. Now it is just Mind Freak.
Lebih susah.
Well, he has been absolutely stone cold here for the team. I think this one is a bridge too far.
30 seconds left.
Swing out, it's going to be Munchkin just continuing to be absolutely on point today.
Yeah, he is starting to look like the Munchkin we were seeing earlier on in the beginning of the year, where he was just fragging out of his mind, along with being the IGL.
Yeah.
Forsaken just getting caught trying to go up the stairs. Munchkin just holding the line, just taking a pause after that Paranoia was sent out by PRX. They're just waiting. Flash was used, but PRX, when they swung out, were just immediately shut down, and it's an immediate timeout as well from PRX to try to see if they could figure out what they got to do. So far, it hasn't felt like we've seen some of like the typical combos that you see from PRX with the Harbor, like you're in the Cascade, and then you're just snowballing utility to try to bully your way through into sites.
I mean, it was kind of the bonus was the one round where I was expecting maybe to start seeing that development come through, where you get Forsaken forward into that position. He likes to go that right side of bench instead of a Harbor wall that really just cuts that A site into pieces.
Right.
But the crucial thing that was missing was that Reyna, as something had died over inside of B main. So they didn't have that setup, so we haven't really seen PaperX
Terus
getting
juga
to a
main
point,
tembak. Ya
both
gimana
just the
4-0.
players being alive as well as economically,
Gak
to really
ada
start having the hub come to
masuk-masuknya
fruition
tuh.
here for
Mati
them.
terus.
No, exactly. It's been very, very challenging. Now, you do have a showstopper, but you still have to buy down a little bit. A Spectre for Jing, Sheriff for Devi. Try to see if you can make something happen while the pockets get deeper and deeper for GenG. They've been hanging on to this op a couple rounds now. Gonna use that cascade, the drone as well. Clear a little bit of space in mid, but right now, GenG very happy to give up this mid control. All of Meteor's utility is over at the front of A.
Bagus nih scan.
Dart gets a spot. Something able to get behind the wall. He's going to get 2 spots off of that. Dart didn't get cleared.
Shots there in Forsaken, going to get tagged up down to 73, as is Jing. Texture going to be forced back, but Caron just holding here, and Lumber manages to come up with 2. Texture finds a shot, Jing going to take it down. Absolutely snappy with it, now pulls back over into Boathouse, knows that he is being encroached upon. Something here on the side, footsteps going to be heard. Texture looking for the shot, manages to get the diagonal flick down. GenG
Hilang lagi. Belum
not
sempat
backing
offline.
down whatsoever, now up 5-0.
They look incredibly snappy right now. Everybody seems dialed in for GenG. Texture in particular, those op shots are fast.
All starts with this, I mean, looks away, gets that 90-degree snap back to take up the 5 before falling.
Nice!
As right now, I mean, you can tell GenG are absolutely dialed in.
Yeah, it just seems like PaperX isn't able to really suss out the position sometimes. That's hurting them. Whether it be Karan in a corner, Karan up close with a judge.
Look at the read here, though. Mindfreak now going to be spotted. Might have to burn his other TP. Okay, something is just going to be dropping off the top rope. Doesn't manage to find one. That gets him on the board.
Bro,
Munchkin forced back, but here comes the peek from Texture. Finds one.
tekstur nih.
And
Farming
already
ke
there's a 2-for-1
pakai
trade up
OP.
in their favor. The swing out, tries to go for the shot. And Devi will be able to get the punish. Texture out into the open, ends up falling down. Devi looking to try to take this into his own hands.
Dan ini
He's getting put down by Munchkin. He's going to be bleeding out on the floor, but now it's all on Lakia. Swinging around the back, making his approach
Ready
from
flag.
Gelato. Do they suspect this at all? So right now, they have their sights trained over towards heaven. Mindfreak now
Yeah,
looking
flag.
back into main.
Ya di flag.
As the bleed out comes through, he's going to be spotted. Ethan, quite a bit of damage. A shock dart at his feet would put him down. And Lakia's looking to try to flush him out. And it's just going to be the wall bang to continue. GenG, you can try, but you are not
Udah bawa
ever
OP dia.
slowing me down. They move up 6-0.
Pakai jet,
What
pakai
can you
OP
say? I
ya
mean, even with
udahlah.
PaperX having some moments, they're they're still not able to convert. I mean, GenG's just got that extra layer in their back pocket, and enough time is bought here for Lakia to make this maneuver. They get so much contact, they get so much info off the initial peek out from Texture. They see 3 or 4 players of PaperX there, and they know that a lot more of that map is going to be open, so they can take advantage of it, and they do instantly. And even though PaperX starts winning some of their fights, in particular Devi has a nice moment,
Ayam.
it's still not enough.
Little chicken.
That feeling when you have the man advantage, but then you realize you're up against
Pakai
Lakia.
sofa,
A clutch
pakai
position
Odin
on
lah.
the A site.
It's always in the back of your mind.
I think
It's
that's why
gotta
they
be in his mind,
were
too.
paying so much attention to heaven. Rocket in, Jing able to find one. Munchkin
Yo,
going to be taken down.
W
Meteor
Gaming.
hopping across to the opposite side, but Jing right there to get the punish. Lakia in the meantime opens up with that Hunter's Fury. Does manage to find Devi. Texture is situated here at heaven, anticipating an aggressive
Kaget terus deh.
advantage that PaperX
Si
has had all
GenG-nya
game
kan
so far.
Pindah-pindah
The
terus,
wall
pindah-pindah
bang,
terus.
something eating some damage.
So
Down
much
to
util.
36, the readjust, the shot's just barely off. And as the door breaks, Lakia has to back away.
A lot to play with. Something has quite a bit in the back pocket.
Turn over the top, the reveal onto one. There's the tailwind forward, and oh, it all
Lagi.
starts crumbling so very quickly. Texture with one. Jing taken down by Caron, and now Mindfreak. Zoned away here in main. Taps coming through. He just hears the wide swings here from Jet. He's not going to be able to find the punish. Lakia will scoop up
Odin
a third
lagi, Odin
as
lagi.
GenG pick up a 7th.
I mean, they're just unbelievable with the way that they're creating these retakes and the timing at which they all strike and the efficiency at
Seenggaknya
which they all
dapat
strike.
plan lah.
I mean, this is a great hit. Jing gets 2, but then they just get the spot, and you know, it's texture with the blades, Lakio with the Odin. And you have to take that
Habis
second
emotnya.
timeout already
Udah.
for
Emang
PRX.
asennya
Both
PRX
coming
nih
in this
masih,
first half, and
masih dimasak.
obviously probably a little bit
Masih
frustrated
bingung
as
harus
Alex
ngapain.
that they haven't really been able to get much done. They're starting to find some success in getting into the sites, but after that, they don't have what it takes to really lock it down.
Now, foreign feeling washing over Alex. I mean, this frustration's not something that he's really had to experience since they got back from Shanghai. We've just seen nothing but basically cool, calm, and collected, you know, cams from him. This PRX has widely just been very dominant in their regular season matches here in Stage 2. GenG, for the umpteenth time with them playing against each other here this year, right now, very much have the upper hand.
And this map has been a real pain point for PRX.
Yes.
Like, they have struggled to find an identity.
Eric
Like they tried,
Bulan.
what, this is the
Yalah.
fourth or fifth different comp at least
Map
that they've tried
Asen
on
nih
this map
emang
this year.
rusak
Maybe more than that.
atau masih
And so
dimasak.
far, they really just can't quite get a grip on it, so they tried to go back to
Di
something
gimana
similar
ya?
to what they did last year.
Masuknya
But
bingung
so
kan.
far, haven't quite been able
Nyoba kom
to
belum
really get the
dapet.
ball rolling like they would like. And again, to me, it's just
Buru
they're trying to win
salah
scrappy
keburu
battles. Lakia is going to take that paranoia, the reckoning there, to clear some space on the side.
Look for a very
Tapi-
pacey hit, and yeah, they get the reveal here on
tapi
Meteor.
map
He's
2
gonna be
map
flushed
3
out,
masih
taken
bisa
down.
di
Jingle
ini
will find
sih,
one
masih
lock in,
bisa
Meteor both fall. Forsaken collecting the other.
di
Let's get the call here from
andalkan
PRX.
tuh Icebox sama Lot.
Looking at tree, but something gonna be spammed out. Munchkin up in heaven, just suspecting that he's gonna be up in the box. And just to find that stray headshot. Suddenly, it is just one player difference here. The advantage for PRX.
Fitri,
They know
tapi
Mind Freak's on top
tekstur
of
masih ada.
Heard the TP or just assumed.
Texture though, okay, he is able to swap out a weapon, grabs himself a Vandal. Delaying door now broken. There's Tailwind forward. Jing waiting it out though, allows him to go past. Munchkin now going to be the last one. He just managed to find Jing.
Akhirnya
Punisher
satu
on
round.
the raise, a spray into the smoke, but time is working against him, and it looks like PRX will at long last get themselves on the board here with this round win.
Iya,
Divine
makanya.
will be the one to go ahead and put him down,
Icebox sama
not allow for
Lotnya
further
bisa,
damage to be dealt.
tapi
Scoops up a Vandal, scoops up
emang
the Odin
Asen ini
rather,
kan
actually. Get the double upgrade. PRX will
Let
finally
him
find
cook
themselves
dulu.
around victory.
Yeah, it's a
Belum
nice
tahu
set
mau
play here.
ngapain.
This is kind of what you want to see. It's a paranoia to clear the front of the door, the reckoning, comboed with the Hunter's Fury to isolate some players. Quick little flank through short. You've got two players down, the side is yours. And you're able to handle this attempted flood retake from GenG very, very nicely. Mind Freak playing the door very, very well there.
Yo
Letting
bang,
Texture
yo
just go
bang.
by,
Abang-abangku.
going for that secondary player that you know is going to be right behind him potentially. Karan already has Jing dead. It's over outside A main because he went into wine.
He just goes into wine, finds that kill. Mind Freak not wanting
Hilang.
to apply further pressure over there. Challenge. There's something that's going to ring out with that operator, let them know that they have that in play just to clear that. Texture for now positioned here. Bot mid drone just peeking around Devi.
Just toying with him.
Yeah.
This is really interesting. Oh, Meteor could-
Duelis
Oh,
kita hilang
swoop
semua
out,
guys.
just not ready for this pinch to come through. So much attention just paid in towards mid, and Meteor just continues to just scale out of the site. Finds that punish now. 3 players left standing for the side of PRX. Paranoia across to hold him at bay. Cloudburst, the Cove. They can't really push up into this one. They can't push out of it. They don't have the Leers. Up on the shot dart, the spam across. Lockett able to find one. Push up through the wall from Munchkin. Finds Forsaken. It's going to be a team ace as GenG are not allowing for PRX to scrape together 2 rounds consecutively.
And for GenG, they just kind of go back to their default here. This is kind of their very typical setup. Karan outside of A main, Munchkin in short.
Just
Yeah,
counter drift in the wall.
yeah. Meteor out through long B. That's easy does it for GenG, and I mean they can play to something that has given so many teams grief this year. Is those isolated individual
8-1
battles. They
anjir,
are so
PRX
good
guys,
at winning.
8-1 tuh bukan PRX kayaknya.
It is top to bottom on this GenG team that you have to worry about those moments. If you take 1v1 duels against them, you are playing with fire, to say the least. And even a team as good as PRX, as good as they are in those duels as well, they have struggled against GenG. Meteor in particular has just destroyed people on this map time and time again.
Full push in. Munchkin dissipating it off the back of the wall. Since the flash just further hold him at bay. Paint Shell's trying to clear. As now the Cove comes through. Turn leading off the back of that one. Munchkin has to back away, but Texture, a very hard angle. Waits it out, sends the shot. Will get punished though. Quick trade from Forsaken. Puts him down. Leaves the operator now on the floor. Push it to the back though. GenG going to be taken out. Munchkin holding here from hell. Does quite a bit of damage there onto the Vi as well. He gets whittled down to 24 HP as Karen just fishing around through the smokes. Trying to see if he can find the timing. But it's going to be Meteor out free to go ahead and put him down. Karen's just sprinting up into Mind Freak's face. GenG 9-1.
Yeah, and I mean, you can see some of the ideas here from PRX trying to use that Cove as a shield to send out the Leer, try to cut through towards the door, but Texture, as soon as that Leer came out, he hesitated just a brief moment, saw the players, got the shot. Just tremendous. Yeah, it cost him his life, but
Udah kena flash di
it
pick
makes it
2
so
orang.
much harder for PRX to scale onto the site the way they
Masih
want.
dapet.
Baron being absolutely nasty, just running at him, spraying. Just knowing they've got him dead to rights. Showstopper available, but it's all Sheriffs. PRX. Going into today, PRX was 41% win rate on their ecos, but so far GenG hasn't given them anything.
I mean,
Bang
the
nggak
way
pernah ke B, Bang.
GenG are playing at the moment. Feels like that is a far cry hope as Mind Freak tucked in behind the box. Texture sending out a shot. They know that they're here in mid. Karen with the counter swing will be able to put him down.
Masih
Swings
repick.
out. He's out ready for Divide to also be in position.
Yee.
Off shot from Texture. Gonna
Nice
be going
texture.
wide. Leer down at the floor. Looks for the timing.
Nice
Hit.
texture.
Find it this time around.
Wih,
It's gonna be them backpedaling, but now they're readjust.
What?
Side of PRX. Showstopper.
Nice.
Locked. Gonna be hounded down,
Okay.
taken out. Again, these op shots whipping from Texture. Multiple kills missed out on now as GenG picks up an Odin. Plan to come through. Something still tucked back over at Pizza, waiting, lingering.
Spike planted.
please lah.
Seemingly
Winnable
ready.
nih.
Pings do come down. They're
Lumayan,
wary about this
berdua.
lurk.
Now there's some space that they don't have identified. They lost 2 players early at Tree, so they are aware that there could be a lurk coming through.
The Meteor can also just send this lockdown to try to flush them all out. Movement now has to start, and something missing the timing. Doesn't catch a glimpse.
Oh shit.
Meteor spots him, finds the headshot.
Oh shit.
Second, Sheriff in hand, gets it, but
Okay.
GenG just pushing forward with the Odin. Manages to bail them out. It's a thrifty win here for the side of PRX. As they get themselves a second round, a chance at a 9-3 half.
Yeah, I mean, and it's something that both of these teams have, is their really uncanny ability to win rounds they don't seemingly have any business winning. And it's just good coordinated play there at short. GenG playing off the information from Devi and the Reckoning. Forsaken, at least able to clear out Meteor. That sets up GenG to keep pushing outside of that lockdown. So good proactive play from PRX.
I think Texture might have just spoken a little well on to hold that thought as Mind Freak just going to be taken down off the rib. Karen with the aggressive push forward. Just goes for the punish, and they find once more.
Baru
Knowing the tendency of him
13
wanting to
dulu.
get up into that cubby.
Anjing. Baru kali ini nggak sih PRX ngasih
What was Texture having?
2 kali
Oh, I
time out
think he was
di
suspecting that after they had gotten
half
the kill on the
run
Meteor, he
pertama.
was going to push out into B main.
Ah. Yeah,
But-
you would assume maybe they'd like double up.
Not to be.
No.
Either way,
Yeah.
solid opening kill. And with a big portion of your smokes now eliminated, taking a site becomes that much more difficult.
And now Munchkin can pop the null command as soon as there's any contact here. Like that recon dart, boom.
Flash bomb nothing. The blast packs forward, and GenG coming up with a kill. Karen having to reposition.
Oke, nice.
Somewhat. He's pushing his way up through window.
Ya,
managing
tapi
to
ini-
take down Texture,
ini
and
orang-
suddenly this round completely turned on its
Oke.
head. Push out of the smoke. But Karen going to be instantly dealt with as Devi once again goes for the operator.
30 seconds left.
Hunter's Fury from Lakia just desperately fishing for any kind of tags, but
Iya,
no one up
iya kan?
around. Push up onto the box. GenG will be able to take down
9-3,
Meteor. Now
lumayan,
Lakia
Dit.
all on his lonesome with an
9-3,
Odin.
lumayan.
This is very, very difficult for Lakia. As good as he is with that Odin. This one seemingly out of reach unless he gets that spam. Oh, he was close.
Yeah, I mean, GenG, I think
Hilang.
made a little bit of additional
Yeah.
damage, but as the wall gets broken down, Devi has clear line of sight. PRX will be able to scrounge together a 9-3 half.
Yeah, I mean, it was rough sledding for PRX. It still felt like some of the machinations of this comp weren't fully fleshed out at times, even though GenG sometimes just beat him to the punch. I mean, some of those battles at A main were almost always going GenG's way, right? Like if Karan got deep enough, he got outside that door, it was over. He was getting at least one, kind of slowing them down.
Nggak tahu nih. Attacker biasanya gimana sih GenG?
That's an old screenshot.
Yeah. We don't.
He's a changed man.
He's a changed man. Wow. We're seeing a new Alex these days, but I mean, able to get a couple there at the end, sure. PRX's defender side on this map can be quite good. It's just GenG's attacker side on this map is really good, and they are very, very well coordinated, very methodical. They work the map really nicely. Great play there by Jing, immediately dealing with Munchkin. That was so fast from something. He just beelined it up there.
And that's something that we need to be seeing from him. I believe it's only his second kill of the map thus far. That pick there on the texture. It's been a rough ride for me at 2, 11, and 5.
Uncle Dava itu makin
That
cepat pakai
snappiness, that
OP-nya.
quick decision making. That's what you want to be seeing from something, and that's what it needs to be delivered upon going into this defensive side.
Yeah. Oh, I agree. And it's hard with Reyna, as everybody knows. If you're not kind of snowballing out of control, sometimes it can be very rough sledding, even for a player as good as something. Couple ghosts, couple classics for PRX, 3 ghosts and a frenzy for Karan. So let's see exactly what GenG has in mind. Kind of split the map here into a 1-3-1 to start. Excuse me, a 2-2-1. I didn't see Karan hiding underneath texture there. Jing.
Jing.
Check it with the boom bot.
GenG loh,
Try
bukan
to keep Texture's
DFM.
position hidden. Kind of anticipating that maybe PRX will try to get aggressive out of main here. And with something leaning over on Munchkin.
Just catching him right on the side of the head. Jing going to be taken down. Something so flanked forward. But now the pitch comes through. This meteor arrives over in Dre. It's looking like 2 for 2 on pistols so far here on Ascent, and it is. Texture cleans up the finals. And that is going to be GenG moving up to 10.
Yeah, I mean, they just have multiple layers here. So it's the anticipated pressure coming out of main if PRX decides to get aggressive there. They're ready for it. They've got texture hidden in off-angle position. If they don't, then they start to collapse through short, and they find a great timing where something had slid over to try to help out Mind Freak and Jing. And instead, that just opened up too much space, and GenG was able to take advantage of it. Really just great reads right now from GenG on top of phenomenal shooting. Munchkin with that Guardian, as per usual, looking to see if they can find some info towards mid, clear a little bit of space. Again, texture set up outside, expecting a potential push, and PRX is just gonna hide.
Okay, yeah, this shot's getting opened up. It's another massive Guardian buy from the side of GenG, and it pays off dividends. Flawless round as the smoke dissipates, and PRX, just standing there, pants around their ankles, being like, uh-oh. We didn't think there was going to be a crowd here.
Yeah. It's like getting caught just out in the open. Nothing they can do. It's a massacre there. Lear comes out a bit late too. Not that it would have mattered, probably would have been cleared pretty quick, but regardless, look at Munchkin, 16 kills, leading the scoreboard, trying to get aggressive with something.
Gak bisa dikasih agresif.
But at least noted that texture is right around the corner. PRX playing for close contact again. Oh, that time they get him.
Well, that is a damn good hit to have. They want to try to take some space off.
Masih
The
di-push.
Meteor's here to reinforce the position.
Nice.
Gets the tank, but cannot confirm the kill. Forsaken staying alive. Down to 10 HP. Texture wants to swoop in, try to finish the job, but it's going to be something collecting the kill. 2-man advantage now here for PRX to avoid another bonus conversion.
Mati gak nih Jing?
Olakia.
Jing. Jing.
Wall falls. Be able to find the headshot. Minor damage taken down to 85.
Icebox-nya masih bisa Genji.
Drag GenG back into this one. It's Forsaken just tucking away, dodging out on the recon pings. Suspecting that
Genji di
player
Icebox
pushed up
bagus.
past, and there you go.
Last
Punish
player
is
Main
found.
rapi.
Mind Freak on the swing out. Snappy with a headshot takes out Karan, and now it's Munchkin all in its lonesome. And well, the gun barrel's been spotted. It's something will collect the kill.
Just really good effort here from PRX this time around, winning out on their contact plays.
PRX
And
lawan
Forsaken
GenG di
finding a
Icebox
great
tuh
angle there to hide.
rekornya deket-deket
The
terus.
timing just hard to
Nggak
read
pernah.
that as a player that somebody's that close when your recon dart
13-8.
supposedly cleared the window area.
Pasti 13-11
Forsaken
lah.
just right away, slow stepping
Berapa?
back, finding that position and
One
knocking
enemy
Lakia down. And the whole round, Mind Freak stayed in that corner. I watched the whole round. He sat behind that box up in A heaven, never moved a muscle. So the whole plan was give up a little bit extra space, clear the turret.
Counter
Something is
swing a
going to
bit
get away.
delayed.
Yeah.
Not get that punish. Now the Odin opened up once again. And
Oi.
something is actually going to be him going for the repeat.
Yeah.
Who finds the punish on the meteor, but Texture pushing forward, able to take out the enemy Reyna. Looks back away as Drone gets ready to potentially go up over the top and try to further scout things out here. But for the time being, it's a very slow rotate over towards this B side of the map for the likes of GenG. Texture gets forced out of position. But ultimately, no matter which way they go, they suspect that they're going to be gambling into two players.
For sure. So they're just going to try to see if they can work off of the extra little bit of space that Texture has gained since they have no A main control. Not that PRX is fighting for it. Decent shock dart. It's a smidge of damage.
Oh, mentornya mati kan.
Forsaken now setting up the wall. Cove as well.
Aman, aman.
Thrown down. Trying to fake
Udah
that he's actually
multi-man.
crossed over, but if the push comes through from Texture, this could be a massive punish now. Fragment down at his feet. Texture still just tucked away. Pushes forward. Disrespects that fragment. Able to find the punish as the Vi gets taken out of boats.
30 seconds left.
Rotate, however, is here, but now the wall falls and Texture finds himself a third. Jing taken out. Forsaken Snappy with a pivot.
Spike planted.
That elimination.
One
And
enemy
now
remaining.
brings it down to Munchkin once again as the last man standing. Smoke will dissipate. Mind Freak will get involved. It's going to be
13-5.
PRX hanging on.
Yeah, so this is
Pesimis banget, Bang.
interesting battle around the harbor utility. Texture there doing kind of what he was doing on Haven against RRQ yesterday, where he's lurking right at the edge of the door, right on the edges of those smokes, trying to find those big multi-kills, and he kind of gets it.
Right there.
But there's a better response
Enemy
this time
kill.
from PRX. Texture just disrespecting that fragment, going right through it, but Forsaken
Spike
able to
planted.
anticipate well
One
enough
enemy
before the
remaining.
transfer could come through from Texture. They're just there ready for that smoke to dissipate. So good play around the smokes by PRX that time around. Still a lot of work to be done. Operator in something's hand.
Look at this, though. I mean, it's
Just
just
Mind
Mind Freak on this side. It was a big gamble stack from PRX. Paranoia's now going to be coming through. Texture drops down here into the site, suspecting that he's going to be over at boats. Can he flush him out? It's just going to be the push in, and Mind Freak snapping with a headshot, able to find that one. TP's over to the side, and he somehow slips the net. Forsaken in the meantime, he finds Karan with the shorty. Now gets Meteor with that Vandal in hand. Mind Freak still alive, and it's going to be a flawless somehow. He was the only player on this site, but GenG could never pin him down.
Teori map
I mean,
defender ya.
again, the benefit of having that extra layer of smokes from the harbor. You get the Reckoning as well, but he can TP and find just enough of a safe zone in between a couple different areas.
One enemy remaining.
He's able to keep himself obscured and buy a ton of time for this retake. Extremely well done by Mind Freak. That is so difficult to do. And to shut down Texture on the Blade Storm is not easy as well.
It was kind of like the inverse Berlin. Like, he wasn't the one who was TPing all over the place and getting kills, but he was
Lihat
constantly
lihat
pulling
killnya
attention
Texture
and
nggak?
keeping them distracted. Now Karan in a bad
Yeah.
spot, but what? How does he get that kill? He was sliding down a wall. Is he Spider-Man?
Yeah,
He just stopped?
sure. But Spider-Man doesn't use guns, so
There's probably some parts where he has a spider gun, but
there's probably like one of those versions.
there's Fury looking for a tag. None to be found. So far, just the 1-for-1. Still 3 players over here towards A. Once again, Mind Freak on his lonesome.
When they had to use the fragment to clear wine, so Forsaken's position safe for now. Something watching with the ops. They've got the A site in
Sama-sama.
theory pretty well
Sama-sama
locked down,
ngepick nih.
but it's gonna be op v op. Who's gonna win this battle?
Dar.
Oh, something. Holding the angle, Texture having a peek into him. Gonna take a massive whiff from something, and it's one that's not found, and I believe the Texture just screamed on stage.
He did. He did. He was not happy about that one. Probably felt like he should have
30 seconds left.
had the opportunity. Oh, Karan.
Got barrel spotted. Oh, nearly
Bang.
whips that one away, but eventually stabilizes, finds the kill. Now into a 3v3. But with no time remaining, GenG just remaining fanned out. Going to be saving these weapons over into the next round. PRX
10
will get
seconds
up
left.
to 7. And I like that you earlier had mentioned, you know, the comparison of GenG versus RQ, because one of the things that we were seeing from them versus RQ was nice early lead, but then started allowing RQ to run things back. Yes, they were able to close things out in 2-0 fashion, but there was a lot of rounds that it felt like GenG were giving away that they did not need to, and that they should have been able to have much more dominant performances on those two maps.
Yeah, I fully agree. And I think in some ways that's been, if you're going to criticize GenG for much this year, considering how successful it's been, you're going to criticize them for anything. It's that they do have that tendency sometimes that they'll run a bunch of rounds together and then kind of take their foot off the gas pedal for whatever reason. I mean, certainly a lot of it is the other teams get a read, they make adjustments. We have a lot of good teams, not just here, but globally as well, who start to figure these things out. And at times, GenG, they will just kind of stay in form, stay in focus throughout a map. I mean, you think back to that split against Heretics, but other times, they'll lose a bunch of rounds, then win a bunch of rounds, or win a bunch of rounds, then lose a bunch of rounds. So it can be very, very back and forth, much like being on a seesaw with GenG. And absolutely, I agree with you. It is kind of concerning because you'd like to just, with how dominant that first half felt, just kind of close the door on PRX and don't really give them any hope, any momentum to get their footing, to get their confidence and get their mechanics kind of in check and get their decision-making in the proper places. Because now PRX has looked very solid. I mean, they're playing just really good, disciplined holds at different angles of the map, reading their opponents very nicely. Let's see, it looks like maybe GenG is going to try to crunch towards mid, expecting this push out from PRX.
Big push forward here. Little opening spray, but countered there by Meteor. Finds the shot. Double face up into the smoke, and Jing is able to collect both. Texture and Munchkin now
Down mid.
annihilated. The Boombot sent forward as Meteor. Tucks back here behind the box. Lakia. Just the opposite side here, mid.
I was going to say, does Meteor have a sheriff behind that box? Because we saw a play where he popped out from back there.
Led to an ace.
Yeah, absolutely destroyed him. But now something is so much extra territory. Yeah, you still have Karan smokes, but yeah, not read by Lakia at all. It's taken down.
Not whatsoever.
Nice.
There's the jump peek. Spray opening up in the mind, finding the headshot. Meteor now gone. PRX
Gak tahu.
trying to continue to claw back this deficit. Just going to be 3 rounds separating after this one here as Karan pushing forward. Will get taken down. Something able to find the snipe.
Teori map
Only lose
defender
Forsaken
tadi itu kan.
to a little bit of stray spray out from Meteor.
And I love these little extra layers that PRX is adding into these rounds. A couple rounds ago, Forsaken holding close at A main door, and he has a great opportunity. If GenG had ever felt comfortable enough to make that push, but in this round,
Bisa
GenG
comeback
expects
kalau
the
GenG
mid-aggression. Instead, they
nggak
just kind of pump the
dapetin
brakes and smoke, wait it out,
tembakan-tembakan
but they've got
aneh
2 players
lagi.
there, not one. GenG doesn't anticipate that. That allows something to swing out through B long, set up that flank angle. Here we go. Oh, Forsaken. So close.
Yeah, eating quite a bit of damage, but still holds on to his life.
Eating quite a bit in
41 for the
response,
time
though.
being.
That paint shells really chewed through GenG.
No,
Point.
bagus
There's
banget.
even more.
Flashnya.
Locking down 39, Texture 56, but he's up on top of Chan. He's able to find himself a second kill as Forsaken. Keeper spotted out. Switch being tapped here. Mind Freak just inside the smoke. Eventually gets flushed out. GenG saying, we know your tendencies, we know you're there, and they eventually find their mark. Well, there's plenty of money. Something now is last man standing. Not sure how much he's going to be able to get done here, especially as he eats that dink through the wall. That's going to be a heal coming through. Could be a weapon picked up, but the 1v4, does he actually want to try to play this out?
With the op.
Have some counter spray up through. That should stave him off. Maybe look for a little bit of a parting gift kill.
Tembakan aneh.
Well,
Itu
I've already
dia.
popped the Empress. Might as well try to see if I can do some more damage here to the
Tiba-tiba udah ngedes
economy
ke
of
atas
GenG. Knows
Jen.
that they don't have that much money to rub
Si
together. But everybody
per
will make their
second
way out.
kaget kan.
GenG will stop this run back here from PRX and get themselves up to map point.
Yeah, this is kind of one of those just well-coordinated set plays from GenG, able to win that battle for the space. They don't necessarily get any
Match
kills,
point.
but they win that A main battle, and then they just
Match
go.
point.
And just being able to get Texture up on
Lumayan
top of
lah,
Generator gives
dapat
him great
8.
angles down into hell. And he makes good use of it, as you would expect.
Gak usah ngarep comeback. Ya.
But the early attempt by
Oh,
PRX
Jing,
is thwarted. A great
kaget.
paranoia from Karan. Hits
6
both
per
Forsaken
second.
and Jing.
Gini.
That shuts him right
Ya.
down. I caught Util in hand.
Caution here.
And now,
Right
see
here.
if GenG can close it out, or PRX can do more
Kepre.
together.
Ya, tak bisa
Marks
sekian.
for the Odin spray, but now going to be interrupted by that 0 point, so cannot try to send out the recon. The dash forward, and Forsaken just able to punish Texture. He never looked over
Lihat
towards
kan?
Switch. Does get traded out.
Lagi
Lock,
dapat
finds the
kan
kill.
through the smoke loh.
Showstopper at the ready, locked in. Munchkin going to be taken down. Meteor still committing in with the lockdown.
Nice grenade.
Paint shells, however, landing
Sure.
directly in on top of it, but
Come on.
not enough
Ah.
to try to clear this one out, so they still have to pull away.
Deploying drone.
Drone to try to scout. Quickly cleared. Smoke now going to be set up, but well, no one's detained. No one's scaled their way forward into the site. Space is still not taken, and PRX are pushing back out here.
Karon udah
Looking
masuk
to
weh.
intercept these
Dapat
players
info
of
gak nih
GenG
main
before they
break?
can get the spike into the site itself.
And now you've got
Nice.
angles being watched. Jing gets
Tuh.
one, gets taken down by Meteor.
Through the smoke.
Counter spray, but look at the HP.
Itu dia yang ku bilang tembakan-tembakan aneh.
Versus 3. The spike completely and utterly stranded. Take some monstrous
Spam
heroics here.
spam yang
Skips the shoulder,
tiba-tiba
comes one-to-one. Nanoswarm out, but cannot find the punish.
Dapat.
Fly goes leaping across to the opposite side of Alley.
30 seconds
That
left.
allows something to sneak up just a little bit closer. Slovakia going on alert though. He's being very quick about it.
Anak ayam ke mid. Anak ayam ke mid.
Swing all the way around, but
City.
the door
Oke. Nice.
broken
Javai.
down, so now Lockyer rerouted even further, and there's just no time remaining. Call to save is going to
10
have to be
seconds
made.
left.
PRX get themselves up
Door,
to 9 as they
nice.
swing out at something. Yep. He will absolutely confirm that this round is over.
Lah, overtime gitu
PRX
biar
continuing to
biar
persevere. They want this to go to overtime.
biar
Yeah,
apa namanya?
it's really
Biar
good push and
seru.
pull here from PRX. And they just spam through to buy a little bit extra time, to give them the ability to set up some of these angles. Mind Freak TP's over towards the site. Something is just keeping mid under control, and they are able to keep GenG corralled at this door. Don't give them the opportunity to go through. Helps it. Texture just going on a walkabout, not anticipating a position there. Nice up and
Door.
over from Jing. Take down Munchkin.
Seconds left.
There you go. It's Cubby
Remain fast.
proving oh so valuable. Operator for something at A main this time. Has to get out of there.
Yeah.
Gets hit by the
Yeah.
paranoia.
And looking for a timing shot. Now the push up here into the cove. That's going to be broken down as Paint Shells look to try to hold him at bay, and does interrupt Lockyer with the drone, so he can't get any further information on the site. Good counter util out. Okay, Karan. I believe he
Loh.
ulted in.
Kok Karan? Oh, Karan ulti ya.
Ends up just getting absolutely mauled.
Karan tiba-tiba
Yeah,
udah
hoping to use that
itu,
timing
udah
and
di
the
backup
contact.
anjir.
Towards A to find a
Seru
way
tai.
to sneak back there, but it's sniffed out by PRX.
Satu-satunya turnamen
Something in Texture.
match turnamen yang paling
to
seru
beat
kan
seemingly.
cuma PRX.
Time and time
Tiba-tiba
again on
W
this
Gaming
half.
lah. Tiba-tiba
Has the
bawa
HP
Jets,
advantage, but
Indo.
something. It takes his head off in an instant. Taking
Aneh-aneh.
down Paranoia, trying to hold him at bay. As Orb going to get picked up here, but already the rotation's coming through as Jing starts working his way
Masuk,
over
masuk,
towards this
masuk,
B
masuk.
site. Lockyer with the creep up, just alongside
Nice
Switch,
beam.
but Jing on the peek out from Alley, able to find the shot. The boom bot alerting. Now
Yeah.
both players picked out, revealed, and melted.
30 seconds left.
Munchkin again. The last player standing here for the side of
1v4.
GenG, 25 seconds to work with. Being an ace clutch, trying to bring the map to an end, but he cannot find the second. Mind Freak will put
Comeback,
him down
comeback,
and get
comeback.
PRX up to double digits as
Overtime ini
well.
overtime,
I
sumpah.
mean, they're reading this half so well. Just
Defeated.
understanding what GenG's trying to accomplish off that Omenal. Something again, winning his big 1v1s against Texture.
One enemy remaining.
Devise util. It's a ton of info at the end of the round. I mean, that's Very well disciplined, very well coordinated from PRX. Now the concern is you had to burn both your timeouts in that first half. So GenG able to use their second here to try to find this final round. At least this time for PRX, it's only one, not two that GenG has in the bag like we saw against RQ yesterday. But
Sure. This does give them that final bit to intervene as well on the side of PRX. So coaching staff to get in the players' ears and try to suss out what the game plan is going to be from GenG in these last 2 rounds before overtime.
you got to be worried about another kind of big A hit. It's been B rounds a couple times. You know, maybe GenG just leans back into the one of the rounds that worked for them. The only round outside of the pistol and the follow-up, where they were able to kind of take A main control and then immediately pivot into an A execute. Get Texture up on top of that Gen. And you got to worry about short A as well. Somebody has to be watching that angle at all times for PRX. That's not accounted for. That gives GenG the ability to just bully their way into sight. So much easier. Forsaken has a Reckoning as well. Munchkin has his ult.
Get out of my way.
Let's see what's going to happen with those.
Just one away from that Hunter's Fury. That and the Reckoning, pretty good retake tools. So even if GenG can get into the site here and get that spike planted, they're still going to be in a decent position. But now the push forward coming through. They work their way up into the smoke. But in the meantime, going to be able to find something, and Forsaken falls. Meteor comes away with a kill. Fine Freak just TPing over towards Heaven. 3 players strong as Jing just strafing across. Gonna get spammed out. No, gets taken out by Texture. Who up into Heaven and instantly finds the headshot. The timeout from GenG seemingly was everything. They give PRX a way back in, but then they slam the door in their faces. 13-10. But my God, what an opener here in this series, and that's GenG's map pick.
Yeah, GenG looking really good on their defender side and good enough on their attackers. But, you know, we saw some good things from PRX here as well.
Yeah, finding some stability, making us believe in the run back, but now we get ready to go over to Icebox, which is PRX's pick to see if they can make this a 3-map affair. But for now, let's pass it back over to the analyst desk.
And that was just map 1. It felt like a whole series almost. It felt like, you know, there were very different parts of that, especially since, you know, in the first part, it seemed like GenG was just basically doing a PRX cosplay from, you know, a few seasons back of PRX. And then, you know, in typical GenG fashion, they kind of lost a little bit of that momentum, slowed down a bit. PRX was able to make a comeback. I mean, I feel like that's almost a teaser of, you know, this entire series.
Oh my God, it really does feel like it, doesn't it? I mean, who knows how the next couple maps, or next one map might go.
Spoiler alert. Hey, Quack, don't leak the script, okay?
I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry, John Wright. Anyway, but yeah, the way the whole thing plays out, you know, it's a lot of like contact and early pickoffs from GenG throughout this first half. PRX had to fight them with like a 4v5 almost every single round, and it was so tough to work against. And it happens all at the hands of, you know, players like Texture, maybe even Munchkin with a Guardian sometimes. And they just have so many good plays and reads as to how they work on the defense, because they are able to, you know, play around the layout of the map and just kind of peek out real quick and take out a single PRX player here and there.
Sure, and on the flip side, you know, once we got into the second half, PRX was the one kind of doing the same thing against GenG here. You know, utilizing how really strong that comp that they brought into Ascent was defensively. You can leave something onto his own. If he can get a shot, he can always get out with the dismiss. If he gets pushed out, he has the Leer for that coverage. And then how Forsaken just, like, every single round that they kind of approach, whether it's retake or taking a site, his walls have been really good to kind of allow Jing and something to kind of work their way into the site. It's not always going to be clear-cut anymore, because we were talking about this, that Jing might not be as used to the raise in a way here on Ascent specifically, because again, the satchel changes and whatnot, maybe the speed is catching him off guard, but so far it at least was pretty close.
Yeah, I mean, the blast pack is no longer like, you know, tailwind-ish levels of speed. It's a slight little bump, and, you know, it's easier. Like, Charon even got a shot, like, sliding down from, around, like, Gelato, right? And it's crazy how all of these rounds happen. PRX clearly had some kind of a game plan to work around Forsaken with the Harbor, you know, Cove and Leer to allow for some of the players to sneak in on the attacking side. But Texture, alongside his operator, repeatedly shut that down so many rounds, and it's that much more difficult for PRX to do that, to fight back because of that. There were these rounds where, like, maybe the Reckoning allowed them to alongside the Hunter Sphere, allow them to create a lot more space, force GenG to disperse. But once you swap over onto the next half, as soon as GenG gets a read for how PaperX is set up, you would just have these moments where like they downloaded all that data, all that information, and all right, let's pinch out this one guy. We get him, we get the space, we get the site, we get everything. And you see how it happens in the last round too. Texture just gets in with a Blade Storm, and he even uses the Cloud Burst to try to like sell a bit of a fake to let them think that he might be around this side, but in fact he's just right underneath their noses. And because of all this little like positional plays, it really throws PaperX in for a bit of a loop.
I mean, you do see, we have a very dynamic game, right? Valorant is ever-changing, and, there were some little changes that happened. You see still the spirit of PaperX pushing forward. It's just that they're still, they're trying on new shoes, in a way. They're trying to break this composition in, right? And you can tell, like you mentioned, Quack, that GenG, perhaps the movement isn't as suave as we've seen it from seasons past, right? Because he is adjusting to this. And we knew this coming in here. We knew that Alex was saying, like, there's a lot of adjustments that they need to make because, they are, actually, this PaperX is reinventing, right? However, GenG, staying safe, this is the merits of staying safe. You have a GenG that is very, very comfortable. It's just, little bit of, it's still PaperX, you still got great aimers there, and that's, they struggled in those rounds that, they had to encounter, like, something's off, for example, or, just double kill from GenG all of a sudden in Catwalk.
Yeah, it can happen, towards both sides. And I think that's why this is going to be such a great series, because both teams really are that strong, and they have, like, their own, like, unique styles and understandings of the game. And you see it all happen. Like PaperX, like that's what W Gaming is all about. It's not just the aggressive play style, it's also never giving up. Even if it's 9-3, you just keep holding W key forward and you keep trying to do whatever you can, even whether or not it's a save at the end of the round. But credit where it's due, right? Come on, like GenG were just so good at reading how these plays happen. As soon as they, use things like Lakia with the Owl Drone, the Recon, or just little bits of positional plays, like just giving out a little bit of a tell, having a bit of presence created by Karen around A main, while the rest of the teams try to advance towards B. It's plays like that give GenG so much control over our entire map. And of course, I mean, Texture just deleting the faces of some of the PaperX players. It's painful for me to say, but it's just that impressive.
Sure. Again, it's GenG playing so that they have a clear picture of the round the further it goes, right? That's how strong it is. And we've seen so many of the rounds throughout the first half, second half, where they did that continuously. And one of the, I think the biggest examples of that was the big, first of all, the pistol pinch on the first half, where they were just pushing through mid. The other one was PaperX was setting up for that A site, but then someone from GenG, I think that was like Meteor, that was already pushing out of B main. So they already knew that most of the forces of PaperX, if not all, was going to be pushing for A. So all of these, standard things, but still pretty difficult to do when it's going against PaperX. The timing has to be pretty precise. The confidence has to be there. It's all GenG that is locking all of that down, downloading it, as you mentioned.
Yeah, and that also goes to show, right? GenG, I mean, sometimes they do tend to start a little bit slow. So this actually version of GenG where they, they just decided, okay, this is PaperX we're going for. We can also W gaming in our own way, right? And we did see that, especially in the first half, right? But right now, going into Icebox, we know that these two teams, have been running slightly different comms, like slightly in their very essence. PaperX, as you can see, do run the stage, and whereas GenG might prefer, the double initiator here. So going into this, we mentioned it earlier, right? This is a very GenG-sided map. In recent history, does this mean that we're seeing a 2-0?
That's a very, very good and poignant question, Mika. I'd hate to say it, but it might be. It's hard to say. Like, PaperX picked Icebox because, this is one of their maps that they have to kind of bank on. And it's potentially, a map where they can get a pinch on towards GenG, but with everything that's been playing out so far, GenG are showing a lot more control, layers to their defense, ways to read and lure PaperX out until they can, whittle them down bit by bit. And the thing is, GenG opted to start on the defense on this map. So I don't know. It's really tough to say. It feels as though it could be a 2-0 with everything that happens.
Can I force a direct answer from you? Because that very question happens to be our guess and gain question.
Oh,
If we are indeed going into a map number 3. Yes, thank you very much, production, for rubbing our ranks in our faces. We absolutely love it when you do that. Are we going into a map number 3, gentlemen? Do you have these our props over here? X's and O's? Let's... Oh my god, we just spoke to Alex
So
a while ago.
X is like...
I see you struggling. I see you struggling. Which one you got?
These are all
Which one should I get? No, I don't
Okay,
know.
okay. Wait, so shut it down is map 2, right?
Yeah, if you think you're going to map number 3, hold up the circle. And if you think we're going into a map number 2, rather, hold up the X and reveal your answers, gentlemen. Ooh, we're going to map 3.
I wanted to go to map 3.
We're going to map 3. And after I
I don't care about my rank
Icebox is
anymore.
going to be the last map. I think for our viewers, a lot of them are also thinking that we're going into a map number 3, whereas AI also agrees. So, yeah.
I can't defend this because I was just looking at the stats. PRX actually won their last Icebox map against GenG, but it was pretty close. Same comps altogether. If it's going to be still the Gecko for GenG here, and then for PRX it's going to be the Sage. What I will say though, it's very contrasting because of how it kind of plays out, where there's a lot of defensive 2F second floor kind of setups for PRX, but then GenG also has the Thrash, which is really good against that, which is not good against that. So we'll see how that kind of goes.
I mean, we're thinking it's going to go into a map number 3, but it's a very difficult question to answer, right? Because it feels so 50-50. And could go any way, but right now we're looking at our compositions. No changes so far on this. So what does history tell us then?
Yeah, basically what Asarai said, you know, I mean, maybe PRX might be able to eke out the win, but it's not by any means like a dominant side. You know, it always happens to be really, really close. I mean, on Asurai's tablet right now, it's 13-11, huh?
Yeah, exactly. And again,
another one.
I do really like the safety of Jing being on the battle stage because, again, the wall really disrupts, I think, the offense of the double initiator here, especially with the Gecko. If you're able to maybe isolate some of the players, maybe even just stop the Gecko from throwing out the wingman, this can at least force GenG to play a lot more proactive into the site rather than just throwing their utility and then pushing in. If they can do that together, then maybe there's a lot more contact play that goes in the favor of PRX.
Well, let's see who takes Icebox this time around. If it's going to be GenG or PRX, Paperthin and Achilles take us into Icebox.
With pleasure. Let's go ahead and get ready to jump into this one. This is PRX's map pick. Now, they've played against GenG on Icebox twice so far this year, leading into this very series. And it's gone PRX's way both times, 13-11. I believe, as the desk had just mentioned. So it's always been contentious. It's always been close, but it's also always been PRX getting that win.
Yeah, I mean, I think obviously everybody is, you know, very happy with the way that PRX plays on Sunset, for example, and I think a lot of people might be a little surprised, but this map has been very, very good for PRX. They have been trying on it. They destroyed DRX on this map, and this is a map that DRX has looked really darn good at themselves with that Clove comp. PRX, though, just going for that aggressive mid-push. But look at his stack from GenG.
Gonna win their way forward. Texture now popping his own. Swings out. He's able to find one, but loses out on some of his teammates here as Lakias trying to finish the job there on a Forsaken, but cannot. The heal now as well. Taking him back up to full. Devi does get dinked. Tagged down to 13 HP, but the punish not found quite just yet here, if at all. As Karen will reroute, push his way up towards, but no, doubles back. Gun drawn out. Oh, another headshot. Looks for the finisher, and this time will be able to put him down. Forsaken playing on that close corner. There's the swing out. It's a smattering of damage taken. Forsaken down to 70. Gives Meteor an opportunity, of course. He's got that Sheriff in hand, but he himself starting to eat some damage. Trying to go for the wall bang shots. Has to go ahead and reload the cylinder. Finds the first, but cannot get Jing. And that's going to be PRX finding the first pistol win of the series.
Yeah, just a really aggressive maneuver through mid. And if they clear the turret and GenG, sure, they can turn their attention there, but numbers advantage very much in PRX's favor. They're able to take great advantage of it. Just the toxic screen drops, and there's all of PRX right there. Except for Devi. He's out watching the flank, but a great maneuver here. They're very aware of that early aggressive lurk. PRX getting vocal, getting some Guardians of their own this time. Something with a Vandal. Divide just with the Ghost. But up close and personal, Texturity is what he's doing.
He finds both. He finds something both. He can take it down. That's a Vandal. On the floor, can be recovered. For now, will get scooped up. Mind Freak brings that into his own hands, but that's already significant damage given the investment. At least one of the Guardians going to be lost.
Tas bang.
Now for PRX, it's all about trying to stem the bleeding here.
Nice.
Retain as much money as they possibly can. Fragment will find a
Yeah.
smack damage here, and Munchkin's able to find Mind Freak as well. Forsaken
Yeah,
down to
dapat
5 HP.
bundle.
Heal's already been burned. So Wall gets sent
Whoop.
up. Jing snappy on the readjust. Does find Munchkin, but this round is getting away from PRX. GenG off the back of 2. Incredibly crisp shots from Texture. Look to convert
Agak
this
gila
Thrifty
nih tekstur nih.
into a reality. Still an opportunity here for Forsaken, but he's got to be so snappy.
And then he's trying to figure out if GenG has already guessed on the rotation.
I think he's going to try to just fake with the 0 point, but
They're not going to hear it or see it.
30 seconds left.
Wih.
Oh, well, maybe.
Wih.
they're going to start adjusting off, and he hears the footsteps as well. But he still has to delay. They're not so far away that they won't hear the plant starting to come through. Now they start facing back, and it looks like they're going to go for a pinch maneuver here.
Spike planted.
Boom.
And there it is. Up over the top, Karon, Vandal in hand, puts it down, and GenG.
Gila sih
Say, well,
tekstur tuh.
you got your first pistol, but you're not going to be getting the anti-eco.
Well, and I was talking about earlier on the previous map how good PRX is at their ecos. 41% coming into today. GenG on their ecos, 49%. They win nearly 50% of their ecos in Pacific, Achilleos.
It's pretty good.
That's
Let's take a look at these, though.
outrageous.
Sar.
Oh, my God.
한 명 남았습니다.
Wow.
Planted.
That is disgusting.
Yeah, he's nuts today. He was dominating on Ascend, especially on the defender side. Now he's got an outlaw.
Yeah.
Oh, woo, catching a glimpse, and if he had
hampir.
hit that flick, then good lord.
Yep.
But GenG going to be pretty much fully rotating off A. Picture position here at mid is Meteor under 2, spotting out multiple players.
Oh.
Before he decides to drift back, and it's going to be the second shot. And finds the connection, something going to be put down.
Now they're just gonna reroute, see if they can find some space towards A, but Texture with this outlaw matching the movements of PRX every step. Now he's got 2 initiators to help him too.
Wide swing out here from Texture. Second shot again.
Sumpah.
Finishing the job. Divide going to be taken down. So Lucky a little bit whiffy there initially with the spray, but Jing fully blinded up. Just can't get anything done. He ends up falling down. And it's going to be a flawless here for GenG to get themselves a second round win.
I mean, they just look so dialed in right now. Munchkin's making good reads. Little bait and switch there with him and Lakia. Contact with the Dizzy, yeah. A little bit off initially. Still good enough. It's great stuff. Dizzy up and over, expecting the push. Eventually tracks Jing down.
한 명 남았습니다.
Forsaken, just not much he can do there. Tough play for Divide, or excuse me, from Mind Freak. And another hot start for GenG. 0 point is going to be dodged. That
Ya,
flash
flashnya kurang kanan.
giving away quite a bit.
Yeah, that it does. Cloudburst, etc., all going to expire. Tailwind will as well. Not used for no space gained here. PRX not liking the silence on the opposite side, it would seem. There's Dizzy
Whoop.
revealing 1 in the close right corner.
And this is something GenG does a lot of. Sets up these trap plays around pipes with Locky up there. Huge.
Yeah.
It's going to be Karon playing off the back of that opening shot. I'm going to say pretty much everybody having full armor, but Karon's collecting 4. This get put down, the ace not going to come to fruition, but nor is this round win, it would seem, unless Forsaken can do something absolutely unreal.
Berbakan.
Couple taps onto the rope. Pulls back away. Would have to be the ace clutch, but the spike is stranded here in front nest.
So difficult for Forsaken. He saw him. Oh,
spots out another. There's the third, and suddenly in with an opportunity as Munchkin's also down to 25.
Bang, ada lagi bang.
Repositions, refills the space left vacant by Texture's death. He will find the headshot, deny the hopes of the ace clutch from coming through.
Yeah, and it's so tricky to go up against GenG because they're so hard to predict how they're going to play this ace
Udah nih
space.
Texture udah bisa beli
Whether
OP.
they're going to set up for Texture to come around that corner like we saw with the Sheriff a couple rounds ago, or whether they're going to play off contact like that from the Gecko util, then start swinging and holding the angle with the Outlaw at long range. No op yet for GenG. 3 Sheriffs, a Guardian, and a Vandal for Devi. PRX has their work cut out for them, trying to see if they can once again stave off a disastrous attacker side. Taking a little bit of space towards B this time, trying to spread the map, trying to see if they can find some of those openings, but GenG so far kind of giving up that space intentionally, trying to play for a little bit more post-contact play, seeing if they can bait PRX into trying to push through right underneath 410. Got a bit of a trap set up, but right now the attention is actually towards B. He's got 3 players making their way through, but Meteor with his utility is going to have early information there.
Something I'm trying to find an opener here, or at least cause a distraction. Trying to draw some attention towards this side. Granted, we know that all the attention already is here from GenG. But as a 0 point reveals nothing, that's going to send for a massive pivot. They leave Jing in a forward spot, tucked away, basically shoulder to shoulder there with Texture.
This is taking too long.
Down to 38 seconds. Swing out off the flash. Couple players going to be spotted. Swing in, a Meteor able to collect one. Now jump around the corner, and Lakia finds himself a second. Devi will go down.
30 seconds left.
Mind Freak, they're on top of Green, trying to steady the aim, but it's going to be Munchkin collecting too, and now it's Jing on his lonesome. Ping's not coming through. Seems like he has slipped the net, but again, it would have to be absolutely and utterly monstrous from him. And at this point, he does need to die. He has that Sheriff, needs the death bonus, will be gifted as Texture puts him down. 4-1. GenG once again starting to streak their way out ahead of PRX.
Yeah, again, they're reading the map incredibly well,
Dah nih OP nih.
showing yet another very different look to PRX. Nothing from pipes, and all that utility. The alarm bot gets popped, the nanos get popped, and that buys a lot of time because PRX pauses to think about what they're going to do, and the rest of GenG is probably
No.
time to consider how you want to work this. And I'm sure Alex is probably saying just be a little bit more decisive, potentially. You know, if they had been a little bit more aggressive with that contact at B, they might have been able to get the space, at least get the plant down, get that extra cash. You know, you're still in a massive disadvantage firepower-wise.
Yeah.
But you don't give GenG the opportunity to swing the majority of their forces over there to cut you off and really just make a meal of that round.
You mentioned cash, and I think it's a good point to remind everybody, because I've seen some comments online, people saying, like, these games even matter. That's what the fans sound like to me in my head. These games even matter. Everybody's very locked into champions. And it's, well, yes, because A, you get a sick trophy, but B, unlike the other poverty regions, we have a prize pool. So there's some money on the line for the teams as well.
And champion seedings.
And yeah, so, you know, you want to be the best.
Yeah. Not that I think
that is genuinely how I read every single.
That's how you read chat.
Tiba-tiba ngelek.
Chat, Twitter, Reddit. They
You're
all
not too
sound
far
the same
off.
to me.
I saw chat yesterday asking, why am I bald? Yeah, I mean, you know, I had a lot of say in the matter.
No.
Once more into the breach off the back of the timeout we go.
Yep, this is that aggressive positioning from Texture. Look at the stack behind him.
And there's the flash, but it's not going to catch fully. As Rez instantly out onto something to bring him back into the fold, but now Forsaken's going to be put down on the floor. Munchkin as well, cleaning up a third. Now suddenly it's just Mind Freak. Forsaken bleeding out in front of him. The final kill will come through from Lakia.
Hilang.
And GenG just have an immaculate read.
They're just so dialed in right now. They look like they're on the warpath. They want to come out Pacific champions again. Just so clean. I mean, the way they cover the angles for each other, immediately after Texture finds any kind of contact, that's when they spring into action. We've seen a couple different looks of it, but similar feels. Or Karan out of that 4K. Very similar idea in some respects. Now it's Munchkin up and over the top, trying to bait them into Lakia's utility. Once again, 2 players around 410, trying to swing off a contact and shut PRX down. PRX has not addressed this. Dealing with Karan in particular, you've got to clear this angle.
Well, there's the interrupt on the knives. Having to go ahead and put those away as Munchkin trying to hold forward. Finds one before getting taken down, and Karan going to be good for 2. Something quick with the Sheriff shot. Finds that kill. Jing spotted out. Noting this, knives popped here by Texture. Should have caught a glimpse there of Jing as the wall now is raised. Presence confirmed. Something.
Nice.
Wide swinging out. Finds the headshot. Dashes down below the rafter.
Spike planted.
7 HP remaining on him. Jing now dropping down.
enemy
The
remaining.
headshot is found.
Gila.
Jing still just a stinger in hand. Now a Vandal picked up. Let's bring around the Rosie, some trading places, but nothing going to be spotted. No sounds being made. Jing pushing forward,
Nice.
finding the kill. He will save
Thanks,
the round.
Ron.
It's a thrifty once more here for
Walaupun cuma
PRX
satu
as
yang
they get their
tersisa.
second win.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like this is potentially going to be another GenG round, but they're able to just slip the net enough. Our PRX just kind of hitting them when they just don't quite expect it. A little bit pacier than GenG was ready for with those stingers. That opens up the round. Oh my God, something.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Oh my.
And that, I mean, the knives play so well to Something's play style because he's constantly wide swinging, but you get that pinpoint accuracy.
As he dubbed it, I think others have, the some swing.
Some swing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do like that. But I mean, yeah, he's built for Jet in so many different ways. He's got an op now as well.
Oh,
Ooh, it's quite a bit of damage on a Munchkin there, Jing.
Count to 67.
Yeah, not feeling great after that. But a lot of ults to play with for GenG. Both teams have their Viper's Pit, but you also have the lockdown to counter
Yep.
PRX's Viper's Pit. So the ult cycle very much in GenG's favor, plus the Thrash as well. So it's going to be hard for PRX to find the opening, and Texture wins against Something.
He's taking down, looks for the repeat, but that shot can go a little bit wide. For the follow-up as well as Divine just having to drift across that mosh, get himself out to safety, does have that spike in hand. In the meantime, Mindfreak's been able to lurk all the way up in towards Kitchen. Ball now raised. Meteor, if he pushes further forward, he's going to be at risk. ADS is in, does find Jing. Puts him down and now is going to relocate. Still, however, is being hounded down. The fight getting ready to come through. Pops the nano in case anybody got across the yellow, but that smoke being used against him. Forsaken able to spot him out. Finds the shot, but now Texture here at Snowman.
Down B.
Puts down Divide, the spike now on the floor. 23 seconds remaining. Mindfreak needing to be the one to try to find the angle. There's the swing out. He finds the headshot, but still a man disadvantage over the side of PRX. Spike being brought forward, Pit now invested. 10 seconds remaining as Munchkin arrives. The fragment down at their feet. That's Forsaken gone. Now it's all on Mindfreak. Sat here within the confines of his pit. The wingman to search, the Thrash as well. On the hunt, but it's going to be Munchkin. Tucked away, detained by his teammate. As the defuse will be held to half for him. He'll limp his way over and be able to grab that one up, but GenG now continue to push back, not allowing for PRX to get these consecutive round wins. They get themselves up to 6 on the defending side.
Yeah, and I like the overall idea from PRX in this round. I mean, you got to let Something try to challenge that angle from time to time. Not always going to win it against Texture, so be it. But you're able to take that Kitchen territory under your control, but then Meteor wins a huge battle against Jing underneath Tube. Didn't even take any damage, by the way. I looked at that. He ADS's, and Jing can't find the shots. I mean, very rare that Jing isn't in control enough of his spray to at least get a little bit of damage. And that allows Meteor to push far forward, opening up the angle for Texture to find that second kill. Karan just off the rip, puts the Viper's Pit down in front of B.
Wanting to send it before the 0 point comes through. Something for now, like he's going to be the lone player left to linger within this. Just sat back here alongside the box. I mean, Karan, if he gets any kind of sense of this, a snake bite would instantly deal with this
Apakah
Jet.
Something dapat?
For now, though, shoulder to shoulder. And it's going to be Something who actually finds the kill. Karan going to be taken down. And that really changes the course of this round. Mindfreak watching. Cognizant of this push up.
Yeah.
try to swing forward and
Timing.
okay, will force Lakia back, but Munchkin swings back in through Hall, finds the headshot.
Apa ini observer lihat apa weh?
Noted out here by the spawn. Texture quick with a headshot, shuts down Jing, and this round is looking so good for Paper X as they get the catch onto Karan, but it all just tumbles.
It seems like Paper X gets a little bit lost in the back part of the map because they realize they seeded over A control. Meteor is going to claim Devi's life and take the round. 7 for GenG, but they get so much extra space on B and they can't convert it again because a couple players, including the Spike, fall back to try to cover Texture's angle where he's coming out of A. And instead of just kind of trying to take advantage of the space they create by taking down Karan, they're all over the place, trying to work a bunch of different angles, and they're paying the price.
One enemy remaining.
And that's Spike down there, and that's round over. And it just feels like they're not kind of all on the same page at times. It doesn't feel like Paper X is being as decisive as we're kind of used to seeing him this stage in particular. They've been really good at kind of this coordinated play. Everybody knows their job. Everybody knows where they needs to be. Like, especially on this map, a lot of times it's like, okay, 3 or 4 of us are going to make the push. One person just watch in the back. We're going to, scale off our own individual ability and utility, but GenG shut that down every time at A. Then when they try to spread the map here, they just look confused on the map. They don't all seem to know exactly what their protocols need to be in those moments. It just kind of crumbles apart. Certainly, again, weapons were in the favor of GenG, but
kalau 9-3 lagi kayaknya kayak tadi
yeah, you've gotten a
berat
50
kan.
win, but other than that, in the pistol, that's all you've
Backingnya
got to speak
tuh
of. for
jauh
PRX.
banget.
I mean, right now it feels like GenG are beating the Shanghai back into them.
Kalau bisa 75 gitu deh.
Very different look
Nice.
for Paper X from what we've been seeing.
Binable lah.
I mean, just across the board, not really worth isolating any one player. It's just across the entire team right now. Not the same performances that we have been seeing. Orb going to be snatched up here. Not in time there from Jing to find the kill. Ooh. Anticipates the presence there of Lakia. Is able to find that. That's going to be a solid opener here for Paper X.
And they're going to peel off. Make a little bit of noise. Create a little bit of
Ya,
pressure.
jangan
Go
lawan
the other
ini
way.
orang bang.
Extra waiting with
Sumpah
the
lah.
out. Yeah, you got the spot on the
Opi
Mind
weh.
Freak.
But do you want to actually challenge into this is the question.
Oh, what a flash.
Okay, does catches him off guard.
Masih repick tuh orang.
He's still here. Kill not found. Fragment to try to hold him at bay, but he's going to slink around the side of that one. Looks for the flick. Cannot make it happen. Texture
nggak
very
kena.
much at risk. Here's the upgrade over the top. Meteor with the covering
Eh,
fire.
belum
He's able
mati
to
weh.
take him down, but then gets traded out. Texture, point blank. Saw Jing, but now there's 3 players left alive on the side of Paper X. Forsaken surviving with 1 HP, and Karan now all on his lonesome.
Spike planted.
Baru bagian 1 HP.
Forsaken at 1 HP, you could get that kill, but Forsaken wisely going to be the one left to watch the flank. This is more what I wanted to see from Paper X. Kind of just this disciplined, coordinated executes they're so good at.
Thing is, though, you give him any kind of mileage here.
Yes.
Karan absolutely could clutch this one out. Looks for the wide
Masih
swing.
dapat.
We'll be able to take down Devi with him.
Masih dapet orang.
Given just how rough the economy has been, that's still fairly devastating for the side of Paper X, but they're going to carry over an operator to try to make up for that.
Here.
Yeah, and this is exactly what I wanted to see out of Paper X. Just, kind of find your moments. This is just great identification here by Jing. Saw Lakia. Not that it's super surprising to see him up on those pipes. He kind of lives up there on this map. Then just everybody doing their job, covering their angles properly. Forsaken, still upbeat. Still got a positive attitude. Some good ults to back them up this time. GenG has a few as well.
Parah sih kalau kalah.
Both teams still sitting on their
Ya,
lockdowns.
GenG
Both have their
gimana
no
ya?
command. Jing has the res.
Something's got a hell of a lot of space here in Kitchen.
Turrets destroyed.
Tailwinding forward, swing around, getting ready to come through. Karan maybe wanting to challenge him, but well, here's some of that movement.
But that's pulled a couple players over from GenG. But Paper X now taking a long time to get through A.
Forsaken now sending the null command, and Karan taken down. Jing able to find that kill. Nearly gets called into a hand, but manages to restabilize to find one. Munchkin
Dapat.
things down over near 410. The res instantly to bring Devi back into this one, and the res as well on a Forsaken.
Masih berlima, masih berlima.
Now full-blown 2v5 here for the side of GenG.
Spike planted.
Paper X look to try to get themselves a
Aduh.
4th round win.
Jangan 2-0 lah. Map 3 gitu lah, biar seru,
I think at this point, yeah,
biar lama.
save is in order. But this is just all of a sudden PRX kind of finding new ideas. You know, they've been pushing kitchen at times and then trying to make plays towards B off of it. And this time around, they say, well, let's try A instead. Draw some of that attention away from the site. It's been really difficult for us to get past 410 at times because of that defensive setup that GenG likes to run. And they're able to pull the forces back enough that they're able to find much more advantageous fights. It helps that Jing is hitting some pretty good shots too.
Gua main sama siapa, Dit?
Yeah, being able to just jump, dodge some of those bullets, and then just instantly find a headshot.
It's like he's playing Raze.
In the half.
Oh, PRX
We lose it anyway.
improving on their scoring line that we saw on Ascent. And just give themselves a fourth, an opportunity for a 7-5 half to try to close this out. Still do have that lockdown, but no command and lockdown available here to the side of GenG as they look for the 8-4.
Oh, Jing.
Memang
Absolutely
battle
ridiculous.
sits.
But they're covering each other better. This is more of the PRX that we've seen this stage. It's just hopefully it's not too late. That's the biggest concern.
Lagi. Astaga.
Extra trying to get aggressive, but this time a lot of util dumped to clear that space on top of pipes and by the orb. Make sure GenG can't push.
Solid anti-flash play, and with the null command pop, that just sends them packing. Big pull back, but Jing take it down. That's the spike.
Uh-oh.
Looks like they don't have it
Right there.
too heavily watched here at the moment, so it will get scooped up. Forsaken able to go ahead and snatch that one away.
Join.
Fortunate though. Had that not been recoverable, had they still had Texture set up on a hard line to watch it, it could have just been the round completely over. Now they're still in with an opportunity. 4v5,
Oh,
and
nice
Mindfreak, he
time.
makes a footstep.
Yeah.
Swing out Meteor, able to readjust faster.
You should
Finds that kill. Lockdown now, invested here from the side of Divide. Meteor pushing forward, wanting to get into a position to use his own, and he does so. White swings out, challenges on the both, and he shuts them down!
B.
They'll leave to detain. He doesn't care. His work here is done. A flawless to
8-4.
close out the half. 8-4. GenG getting an advantage this time around.
Yang gitu-gitu cuman Pacific tuh.
Yeah, it's tremendous what they're able to accomplish.
Di
Like
ulti masih di
individually
pick
with those plays.
2 orang mati
Just
semua.
little mistakes from PRX, and with Jing just, I don't know what he's doing out there in front of the orb, but he pays the price. And then Mindfreak makes that little step. I have to assume
Yeah.
Meteor heard it. At least was able
Pun
to adjust
kecil.
well enough to take Mindfreak down. And
Apa
then
Unred?
he just wins out in the open against 2. You can't give any opportunities for GenG because they will capitalize. For PRX switching over to the defender side, I mean, in Pacific, the attacker side is the weaker side of the map
Oh, udah
for GenG, believe it or not,
turun-turun
even though
internet
Icebox
tuh
can
kenapa ya?
be somewhat attacker sided at times,
Good stuff.
but it's not much of a difference.
Oh, wet
Absolutely
swing.
ridiculous.
Disgusting.
Now, he's been doing it all year.
PRX, can they pick up both pistols here on this map? Granted, last time, the first one, here on Icebox, they did end up dropping the anti-eco. Looking for a much cleaner start.
And they're buying 3 sheriffs.
Saatnya Mindfreak sama Davai
2
bersinar.
classics. So, just gonna rely mostly on the firepower here. Jing has the wall. No, he's also gonna go for a sheriff. And a ghost now for something, okay. Still trying to figure out how they want to approach this pistol round, but they're stacking B, and they're leaving Divide all on his own. Just an alarm bot and a classic and some shields. He even
0
takes a
point
little
forward, and he's going to rotate around towards Rafters.
Yep.
Calls now sounded to go ahead and start pushing forward. PRX exploring the space over towards green. Splash and Dizzy not going to be noting much of anything here. Texture dashing forward. Good amount of space, and something's not noticing the head. Texture is just poking out above the toxic screen.
Spike planted.
It's going to be the opening kill found for the side of GenG. Meteor watching behind. Sheriff, of course, in hand once more. Looking for that third kill. Will be denied it. Forsaken's able to take him down, but now the 2v4.
Yeah.
Flash in, but flash doesn't connect, but it's not necessary all the same. Divine gets taken down. Forsaken finished off. Karon able to just go ahead and wall bang him
Wala
down.
sini.
3-1 in pistols in the set so far, and GenG now up to 9.
It's been a rough divide. 2-12 right now. Just the normal kind of divide that we've seen this year hasn't really shown up to today. He's had a couple moments on Ascent, but on Icebox, nothing he can do. Yeah, just something distracted by something else going on. Meteor, as always, clean on that flank watch. Karon good for the finisher. GenG in cruise control.
Placing sentry.
And a few guns being bought, a couple sheriffs, a couple ghosts for PRX to try to see if they can do to GenG what GenG did to them beginning of the half, but GenG just happy to see if there's any push out. Nothing coming, and they're gonna go all the way over to the other side. The gamble stack from PRX going to be avoided by GenG, and they will be getting themselves a free plant.
Yep. Could just end up being a corral together and die to spike type situation here for the side of PRX. Would love to deal some damage. You'd love to get some ult charge built up. This could be a round where all they're going to be getting is a death bonus. Meteor about to peek in. Think he saw the ankles there. Now opens up. As hell is unleashed, and Forsaken ends up falling. Looks like Divine, the lone challenger, will also fall. Meteor shuts that down. He's already halfway
GenG
to
ini
a
bagus-bagus
lockdown here in
semua
the second
anjir.
round of the half. As the rest of PRX scramble, fanning out, trying to find some kind of value. They will be able to put down Texture. Mindfreak coming up with that one, but Meteor is out for blood, and he is feasting tonight. A 4K as GenG get the double digits.
Now he's 2 away from a lockdown.
Yep.
Could very well get it in this round. 3 Guardians, a Vandal for Meteor. Just so filthy. Just holding that tube under his control. Flash is good to set up Texture, even though he can't find the second. Doesn't really matter. GenG is in cruise control. Looking to just blow PRX out of Icebox and out of this match. This is very, very challenging. Got a lot of players. A lot of space being given up by PRX.
And already the kills found. Forsaken falling, something dead. As it's just another shooting gallery here for them. Mindfreak finally able to push back, finds one. Still 4 more players to try to work through. Decay expiring, Lakia back up to 85. There's nothing is going to be given over to them here easily at all. Still a mosh for the post-planet Nanoswarm that Meteor could lob in. And there's the pop of the first. Null command to just stave off any additional util that PRX might have up their sleeve, but they know that this one looking done and dusted already. Evacuating the site, looking to just hold on to weapons. GenG are going to move up to 11.
Jurus belum 4 baru nyadar.
Just crazy how good GenG is.
They're reflooding the site. They
Ay,
want these
anjir.
kills.
Yep.
And upgrade some of the weapons as well. Get rid of the Guardians. Looks like they'll be able to scoop those up, and everybody can push their way out to safety.
I mean, they're just on it today in so many different ways. Not just the firepower, but the reads as well. So good. Texture 1 away from the blades. Meteor 1 away from the lockdown.
Ooh.
Just barrel stuffing something is Lakia. Jing, nothing he can do. Texture just shuts him right down. Just everybody firing on all cylinders for GenG. Lakia only has 4 kills, but that's because everybody else is just destroying.
Yeah. 4 kills, but he's also only -2.
Yeah.
If we just hack the assists on top of that one, he's doing perfectly fine.
Yeah, he's doing great. There's nothing wrong with what Lakia has done on this map. Everybody else on GenG just playing that potential that we know they have.
Look at the gamble again. I mean, rotations are coming through. They will be able to get there at a decent time, but now they're going to be held at an arm's length of the site as this lockdown comes through from Meteor. Munchkin watching behind, decides to pull off the angle, does give a window of opportunity for Mindfreak to try to close the gap a little bit. The rest of the team Staved off, plant now, getting ready to come through. Flash
Full flash.
ready. You're playing that first contact. Texture just gets full flash, tries to stay silent, Trace stay in position, but does end up getting punished now. Maybe you're going to be taken down as well. Rocket looking for one, but the counter swing out. Devi able to find the punish. Suddenly it's Munchkin and Caron now. Just the former. Munchkin finds the first, but 3 more players to try to get through, and the backstab comes through from Mind Freak. Delayed, but arriving at the right time. PRX. They will deny that map point from GenG.
Yeah, it's just
5. Lumayan.
quick decision making from PRX. Truly, yeah, they go for the gamble stack, but it's what they do off the back of it. The Flood retake, some great push and pulls. Devi and Jing really doing nicely together. The drop down there, working together as a team to isolate and take down the players at GenG, just finding the right moment to make their move. Looks like Texture is going to pop the blades this round. GenG
Let's go.
pulling back. See how they want to approach this round. All PRX except for Devi is over on B, and that seems to be the game plan here for PRX on this defender side. Have Devi try to buy a little bit of time, delay what he can. Give the opportunity for, oh my gosh, this is such a fast lurk from Mind Freak. But they're kind of looking his way.
2 players here that he's going to have to try to persevere against. Flashing towards that one side, but there's a slow creep up, and Munchkin gets taken down. Suspects that there was going to be another player being escorted by that flash, and Locky is able to win out the fight now. Maybe make the call, or at least make the fake happen over here on this B site. So far, looking like it's going to work decently well. As Devi now is all on his lonesome. He wins out the first fight, though. Texture going to be put down for a second, but now falls down to 25 HP. Has to back away as the heal comes through from Jing. Reality of the situation, though, understood here from the side of PRX as the plan comes down. And Lakia still at risk as this refill here from Forsaken comes through in Garage. Put down, head of Devi, spotted out, but Meteor unable to confirm the kill. Though on the follow-up, and it's going to be Jing taken out. 2v3. Meteor gets tucked away below the rafters. Caron winning at the first fight. Meteor swings back through, finds another, and hands Caron a 1v1. 58 HP for something, 30 on the opposite side for the Viper. The push forward, the take on the rope. Caron, noting this one, drifts away in towards backside, and time is ticking. Something has to stick it, and he cannot. Caron gets the win, and GenG gets a match point.
What a read.
Yeah.
What a read from Caron. Just hears that, or sees the little trailing edge of something, and is able to just play Ring Around the Rosie, buy a little extra time. And this is all on the back of Lakia winning that fight. And what happens on the map is that you see both initiators over in B Garage. You see Munchkin, you see Lakia, you're like, B hit, 100%. But it's actually the other 3 members at GenG just slow pushing their way towards the A site, and PRX completely assumed that it was going to be B, and that gave GenG the space they needed to get the plan.
Look at this though, completely different look from the side of GenG. The updraft up on the tube to clear out of the turret, and now this full mid focus is just picking them to pieces. Texture on the long lurk finds a punish onto something, and now suddenly the blink of an eye, mere seconds into the round. It is Devi as the last one standing, and he can't stand for long. A flawless as GenG deliver utter dominance over PRX, punching their ticket into the upper final.
Yeah, I mean, just looked really, really well oiled today. Not too surprising from our Master of Shanghai champions. And PRX left scratching their heads after that icebox. Had a nice good run back on Ascent, but they were just manhandled here on this second map. I was really impressed with GenG. I mean, so many good reads, opening up the playbook, a lot of different looks that they're showing you on their defender side. Every round was just a little bit different timings with when they were getting aggressive, when they were gonna play, you know, for contact as space was given up, things like that. And then that last round, just a aggressive push towards Tube, taking advantage of that open space, and they just dissect and dismantle PRX.
I punched the highlights out of their hair, but it was just an incredible call at the last round saying, okay, we haven't been doing this at all throughout this game. This is basically a tile scrunch style type play just to catch them completely unawares. And it worked a treat for GenG. 13-5. Dominance there on the side of Icebox. They are victorious, but not into a grand final quite just yet. Of course, still we'll have to wait, watch the next matchup, see who their opponent is going to be. It's either DRX or Talon. But that does it for us here for the first series of the day. We'll pass it back over to the analyst desk to break down the action.
Seems as though it's business as usual for GenG over here, but I don't think that's going to be the last time we'll see that matchup. You know, not even like the next few weeks. There's going to be a lot more, especially since this rivalry between GenG and PRX is something that I feel like, you know, we absolutely love it. Every single round that we saw here is like, you know, it's basically the peak of Pacific.
It really is, isn't it? You can't help but admire everything that happens, even if it is like, you know, PRX having like just single digits. Sometimes it just shows you how much the GenG has to offer. Every single round that plays, like even when PRX has a pistol win, GenG flips it around just because of sheer, like, I don't know, dominance with the way that they have their defenses layered down. Every time that PRX seemingly solves a problem, getting a little bit more space, being able to find an entry, there's another problem being created, another problem to solve on the other side, because GenG just has that many layers of defense.
Yeah, absolutely. And on the flip side as well, I think it works either way, whether you're on the defending side or attacking side. The way that GenG was just approaching this entire map was contact, if not contact, map control. It's the same thing that we saw on Ascent, and this formula works so well against PRX, because PRX is playing on that same spectrum. But GenG, it feels like they're just tuned in, honed in. Maybe it's the familiarity against PRX. You know, they played so many times against each other. They know the timings, they know the tempo, they know how to interact against each other or react against their opponents, and it worked so well in this entire series.
Yeah, you didn't feel like GenG really broke into a sweat at all that series. Not just yet. You know, there were probably a few rounds where they got a little bit nervous. Texture probably, you know, got out of his chair, was prepared to start his tantrum a little bit. But, you know, overall, I feel like this was GenG like very, very well-paced, and I wouldn't expect anything less from them. They are, after all, our, you know, our Master Shanghai champions.
Truly. I mean, Paper Thin Achilles kind of mentioned it, right? PRX really is just a little bit manhandled. You see how every round plays out. Like, even sometimes when it almost looks as though Mindfreak was able to sneak through tube or something, and maybe he gets the drop right. He didn't get detected by the turret, but then Meteor just decides to, I don't know. His aim was on a different level for this map. He had that round with a like 4.
Ya lanjut nanti lah ya. Bus follow. Sekarang udah dulu. Thank you udah nonton. Thank you yang udah nge-like. Bye.